Hey everybody and welcome to KM Reviews. I am Niddleman. This time I'm reviewing episode 5 of Westworld. And just keep in mind this does have some minor spoilers in here, so if you have not seen the show yet, go watch it and then come back. Or if you don't care, then whatever, but you have been warned. Alright guys, so story-wise, this show still has me hooked big time. This episode really focuses a lot on Dolores, who... her mind is working in a different way than they probably really intended to, but because they set her on the path of this maze, it's almost like she took the red pill in the Matrix and her mind is starting to see things and she's comprehending things that she probably wasn't supposed to be noticing, such as people referring to her as a doll, and she's kind of seeing herself in the crowd, and she talks to this one tarot card reader who's talking about her unraveling, and she's like, pulling this thing out of her arm, and it's just kind of weird, and we don't really know what's going on with the weird visuals with her, but I think it's basically just her mind starting to dump all the fake shit out and starting to realize that she's not in the real world. Again, kind of like the Matrix in a way. Now, we also talk about these two guys who I'm still saying they are the same character. They throw so many hints out there that they're the same character. The biggest one to me, though, being that at the beginning of the season, when they're talking about these robots, how they're not supposed to hurt the guests. You know, they didn't just say they can't kill them. They weren't supposed to hurt them. They're not supposed to even hurt a fly, which is why at the beginning of the first episode, it was so dramatic that she slapped that fly on her face. Yet when we see the guy in the white hat there, I mean, in his little storyline, there's robots choking people out and punching each other in the face. When he gets shot, you get bruises. But in Mr. Ed Harris's storyline, when you get shot at, it's just like little poofs of air. You don't really see being any robots being that physical. And also, the only reason he would really know about the maze, the only two people we know that know about this maze are Ed Harris and Dolores. And who is with Dolores right now? Mr. White Hat guy. I think this world is slowly corrupting him. We even see it a little bit in this episode when he kind of turns on his friend, business partner, whoever that other guy is, doesn't want to save him. We start see him go to the dark side. I'm 99.999% sure they are the same guy. I mean, I don't know what else. I guarantee it's going to happen. I don't know. If it's not, I'm going to be really surprised. Now, we also go to the scientist laboratory in this episode, and we see a couple different interesting things. One, we see that robot that bashed himself on the head with a rock, and he has some sort of weird camera GPS locating device thingy that was like in his hand that the behaviorologist or whatever kind of peeled out, and we realized that's in his arm. And that was kind of weird. It's almost like somebody's controlling him to escape out of the park. They're talking about how maybe somebody's drawing these robots out of the park and stealing them for some reason, possibly, but we don't really know what the deal is with that. And then we also see that other scientist guy kind of messing with the bird, and it's all fluttering around. It's almost like he's trying to bring it back to life or change its behavioral patterns or something. They weren't super clear with what he was doing with that bird, but we see Thandie Newton's character. She has taken that red pill. She understands this world at this point, I think. And she kind of wakes up and she doesn't look all that freaked out this time because she kind of has been expecting this and she's been realizing what's going on over the last few episodes. And she just says, hey, we need to talk. And on one hand, I'm thinking it's her understanding what's going on. On the other hand, I almost feel like it's Arnold, the Arnold guy, taking over because it seems like his voice is in a lot of these robots. And it almost felt like he took her over and is like going to recruit this scientist guy to help him out. And he's using her as kind of a surrogate or something. Now, when it comes to Arnold, man, that is a mysterious character because, again, another reason I think those Ed Harris and the White Hat guy are the same guy is because Ed Harris talks to Anthony Hopkins in this episode, which is also a really cool conversation, by the way. You see how Ed Harris pulls out the knife and the other robot just automatically takes it down. Again, Anthony Hopkins, God complex. But anyways, he talks about how he put a stop to Arnold. And so was Ed Harris, is he the guy that killed Arnold? Because we know he died in the park. So I'm starting to lean towards that direction. And again, I think it was the White Hat guy. They got all these explosives on this train. I think they're gonna his path is slowly gonna lead to Arnold, and at some point he's gonna kill Arnold. He's gonna don the black hat. That's gonna be a big season finale thing. It's my guess, anyways. But my point is, I'm loving the acting in this show. Every time there's a conversation with either Ed Harris or Anthony Hopkins, I am so enthralled. Every time they have a little bit of action, it's this Western action. It's kind of cool, and the sci-fi elements are just awesome. Every episode is just getting better and better. If you are not watching this show, please watch the show. And if you are watching the show, make sure all your friends are watching the show, because I hope this show lasts a while. At the rate it's going, I'm loving each episode a little bit more. I'm loving so many conspiracy theories and stuff that I have in my mind all the time about it. And I'm always thinking about it. It's like, it's such a perfect time to waste between Game of Thrones seasons, So if we're doing it like Game of Thrones, if there's 10 episodes, then we're halfway through. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I want to know what you guys think of this show, though, so let me know and comment below. And stay tuned for more reviews every single week. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and stay tuned if you can handle it. Go.